guys, so today I'm going to be doing an author tag, and if you see me move my hands a lot, I'm sorry, I'm someone who talks with my hands. But basically the author tag is just some questions that I found online on this blog, and I would give credit to the blog, but I forgot the name, so I'm sorry about that. But there are 10 questions, and the first question is, what is the working title of your book? So the book I'm currently writing is a children's book that I started a few months ago, like when summer started. And I decided to start it because I like kids a lot, so I wanted to write something for kids. And the second question says, where did the idea come from? Well, I think I just explained it. I like kids, and children's books seems to fit. And I used to love the fairy tales when I was a kid. I actually got one for my communion when I was younger, so I still have that book. So I was looking through the book when I thought, why not write one? The third question is, where does your book genre fall? Well, this book genre would fall for children, but my typical books, like over here and over here, they would fall toward the teenager categories. Like, I started writing when I was 13, so I would recommend it for 13 and up. But if you're younger and you like to read, then you can read it too. My fourth question is, which actors would you choose to play in your movie rendition? Okay, that would be really hard. It's a children's book, so I would choose people who've done something for children, like Disney Channel actors and voice actors that I've seen, because those would probably fit it best. But one I probably want Selena Gomez because she was in Hotel Transylvania and I love that movie. And number 2 was amazing. So I would have Selena Gomez be in it because she's a really good voice actor. I would get Allison Stoner and Ashley Tisdale because Ashley Tisdale, if you guys don't know, she was actually one of the characters for Phineas and Ferb, the old show that we all probably used to watch. And I don't really know who I would choose for my voice actors for the male characters, but I would definitely need Selena Gomez, Allison Stoner, and Ashley Tisdale to be in it for voice actresses. My fifth question is, what is one sentence synopsis of your book? A synopsis is like a summary. And for movie genres, it basically, you would have only maximum 29 words, which I learned when I was in Ace Media this year. And so 29 word synopsis would be, I don't really know. I would probably summarize it as, this is a different kind of fairy tale. Because that's really what it is. I'm not trying to recreate all our old memories when we were younger with all the already fairy tales like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. This is going to be something different and something with different kinds of characters and different types of shapes, because in the past, the characters in little children's books, they usually all have the same shape or the same skin tone or hair color, so I try to like derive away from that. So like in one of my fairy tales in my book, the girl, she's a little overweight, and like I took my skin tones based off of Avatar because one of my friends, she's like, I want to be an Avatar, and we were in middle school and she told me. So that idea basically came together and I made her be overweight and she was different. And yes, she is a princess because there's always a princess in many fairy tales, so I decided let's make her overweight and make her a different skin tone, and like let's try to go away from the normal princess tales we hear. Oh, you guys see my nails? I just did my nails yesterday, and today I got some blue nail polish, so I added the blue nail polish in the middle because I love blue. Everything blue. Anyway, number 6 says, will your book be self-published or represented by an agency? My book is going to be self-published because basically I've been self-publishing my books after my second book was published because I was with a company and they seemed to take a lot of money away from my family. So I didn't want to do that to my family because we have bills and everything else to pay. And so I met a couple of authors online because I'm usually on Facebook now and Wattpad and Instagram and Twitter. And so I met a whole bunch of authors and they were telling me about being self-published, and I decided to give it a try. Self-publishing is hard, but it's basically hard when you have to get the word out and get people to buy your book. Publishing the book, editing, buying a cover is way easier. Because when you self-publish, it's like no one really knows you. But if you publish with a company, the company has personal followers like Penguin and Random House all those companies have followers. But I really wouldn't want to put all that on my family. And so I basically represent all my books and I share them and I just try to get the word out. Even though it is hard sometimes, I still try to help. Books, okay, question 7, not book 7. But my 7th book is coming out August 4th, so you guys should, check it out. And it's the 2nd book of the Falling from a Best Friend's Cousin series. I actually wrote this because I had this thought about what if one of my friends liked one of my cousins, and it would just be really weird for me. So I was like, why not write a book in that type of way? You guys would basically see on Amazon Falling from a Best Friend's Brother, Falling from my brother, and Falling from my stepbrother, and it typically always has to do with a brother. So I was like, why not do something a little different, not do a sibling, do a cousin or something to make it a little more original and different, even though it's probably not that original because there's a whole bunch of falling from my brother, falling for stepbrothers and stuff, but I still wanted to try that. Question 8 was, what other books would you compare your story to? Well, since I'm trying to not have my children's book be compared to many other stories, I wouldn't really say that I personally would want it to compare to a story, but in marketing wise and like in a way of making others feel like really good, I'd probably want it to be like when people read it, they compare it to like Tiana, because Princess Tiana, it's different because she's a black princess, and even though in the whole movie she was a frog and she didn't want to be a princess, she wanted to be a cook, it's really different. And it makes some people feel like, why is she the only princess who's a frog and stuff? But it is different from all the other princess stories we hear. Like, Elsa is also a different story. It's not, I'm going to fall in love with a prince, and I'm going to count on him, I'm going to depend on him. So I would rather want my stories to fall into that category, because those are people, they're trying to make it different, and not the same old stories we hear all the time. So I really enjoy that. That's an interesting question. The 9th question, who or what inspired you to write the book? There's this little girl at my church, and I love her so much, and she's just so adorable, and I love hanging out with her, and she's 5, but I love her so much, and she's so cute, and I really like making her smile, and sometimes she gets sad, and so I usually play a lot with her, and I talk to her, and even though she can't talk like teenagers how we talk, and all this stuff we talk about, but she's like young, and she's very happy, just like when I have a little godson, and he's always talking, and all little kids that I'm usually around them, they like to talk, and they like to play, and they're really inspiring to do that, because when you see the little kids and how happy you can make them with something so simple, it's really inspiring. So I guess little kids, especially my godson and the little girl from my church, they inspire me a lot for this book, and I would really appreciate it for people to read it, and read it to your kids and see if they like it, or read it to your siblings. Even though I know siblings fight, I don't have a sibling. I just know they fight because I fight a lot with my cousins. Every visit, my cousin, he comes to my house for summer, he takes my phone, my iPad, my laptop, and I'm left with nothing. So I read a book. Reading is not bad. I'm not saying reading is bad. I read books all the time, but I personally love my phone, and I need my laptop because I have to write. So I'm a technology person. I'm sorry. Anyway, last question is, what else about your book might pique the interest of readers? Well, I personally wouldn't know because I'm not 5 anymore. So you guys would have to ask your little siblings, why do they like watching Frozen? Why do they like watching Cinderella and all those little kids movies that we all used to watch when we were younger? Our generation, we watched Cinderella, The Little Mermaid, and that's what we grew up on. But these kids now, they're watching Elsa and they're watching Tiana. So maybe this story would interest them because they are hearing about different fairy tales, and they're not hearing about the same fairy tales that we grew up on. Even though if they go on Disney Channel, Disney Channel does some reruns of the stuff we used to watch, it's still different for them. So I think this would probably be good for them. And now I've reached my 10-minute mark, so I'm going to finish this video off. Thank you all so much for watching me. I'm Moisa. I don't have a logo for my page yet, and I'm going to try to make one. But thanks for having me. If you like this video, just subscribe below and like the page, comment. Thanks, guys. Bye!